Welcome back to you. I'm getting to that point now. I gotta start looking at the notes to make sure I know what day I'm on. Welcome to day 20 of Witchtober. So yesterday we talked about working with the land spirits. Today we are talking about your house spirit. So again, same as yesterday, there's a lot of different names you could call the things that live in your home, but I am kind of the belief that your house itself has a entity spirit to it. As we build things and we create things, if you're more of an animist, I think that's how you're supposed to say that word. It's one of those words that you can say it in your brain, you can spell it in your brain. When you go to speak it, it like gets fumbled on the way out. Anyways, that word, where everything has a spirit, specifically your home, the more energy you put into it, it kind of becomes a thing of its own, right? And so I totally believe that. And I believe our house has a spirit of sorts. And so this is how I work with ours. Number one is regular offerings. I know I'm huge into offerings all the time. I feel like it's just a polite thing to do. The one that I really like for our house is to have a candle burning in a semi-central point in our home, and that is our kitchen. It's kind of ish in the middle. Our house is kind of more rectangular, so like the center is more like the staircase, safety. So our kitchen is next to the stairs though. And so I will just plop a candle on the stove. We have a gas stove, so it's used to fire anyways. Obviously don't leave it completely unattended, but like if I'm in the living room, I'm not like super worried about it. I will make sure it's on a fireproof something, make sure it's not gonna tip over, and then I will burn candles there pretty regularly. And I think it's a great way to give energy back to our house as kind of a mutual thing, give it energy, but also it creates a lovely, cozy smell in our house. The next thing is super huge, and that is to speak words of gratitude and to speak well to your home. For a while there, we weren't. We were very tired of it. We've got our creepy neighbor that we're still trying to avoid, and you know, we don't have a lot of space. This house was built in like the 70s, so, and I think it was based off of the other houses in our town, which there are some that are a lot older. There's one that I think was for sale that was like the 1920s, so like we have some old houses here, and the people that it was intended for are not normal modern houses. Like modern houses, because I love to go to open houses, they plan for this magical thing called storage, and this house does not have that. And so, you know, you get very frustrated when it's very squishy and you don't have room to store anything. Like they don't have a spot for you to put like your vacuum. That was not something they planned for. And a lot of the modern features are things that the people we bought the house from did. They did a flip, but they did a good flip to our house. And so, because they weren't sure if they were going to live in our house and keep it, because they had two that they were doing and they weren't sure which one they were going to keep, so they kind of actually did like a decent job. They just gave up when they hit the basement. They were done with it. Because like building this basement, my grandpa helped us with a lot of it. Framing, like we put up this wall. Turns out I did it wrong, but it's fine. Did you know you're supposed to put insulation? I didn't do that. My bad. And there's also no vents in this room. They did not vent to here. The venting system was already done. We didn't do that. We just had to put up the walls. They had a lot of half-finished projects, and that was one of them. Yeah, and then I looked at an open house, and they had insulation in all of their walls downstairs, and it was like, oh, that might have been a smart move. No wonder it's always cold down here. Weird. Needless to say, my grandpa absolutely despised working on this house because nothing was even. It had settled over the years, and it's just, you know, you measure things and it just is like, but why? And trying to put up trim, it does not accept it. And like whoever owned this before us, I don't know if it was the flippers or the one before, but some idiots glued the trim to the floor and the sheetrock with like cement glue. Yeah, it's a journey. So much fun. And they ripped out like anyways, it's easy to complain about your house. And our house, progressively, we were starting to get more problems the more we would complain. And finally I was like, I need to focus on gratitude for what we do have. And I started to reflect back on when we first moved here and comparing it to like when we lived in apartments. It is an improvement. And lo and behold, things started to go better. And, you know, it's the little things. So talk nicely to your home, even if it's not what you love, even if it's not, has everything that you want. Again, space would be awesome, but it could be worse. And, you know, again, I looked at the listing for one in town and it was like, oh, that's creepy as fuck. Like, my basement's not that creepy. We actually have like normal windows, not up to code anymore, but better than like the 1920s where it was like, you can't escape little like prison windows for your basement, you know, like, and it's creepy. There's a lot of creepy basements. Ours isn't that bad, really. And so, I mean, like, this is not the aura of creepy. It's just no windows and there's not doors to this room. So, you know, I love to call it my haunted mansion room because no windows and no doors. But anyways, so always talk really kindly to your home. And then lastly, I have noticed that this really does make an impact, even if it feels really silly, and also it's like kind of duh. Clean your house on a regular basis, maintain and keep up on things. It makes such a difference. The spaces that I have regularly worked on and continue to give love in the form of taking care of it, cleaning, maintaining it, it makes a difference. And it's such a subtle thing, but witches are all about subtleties. And so that's like one of the biggest things you can do to appease your house spirit is to just take care of it. Just do the little things. Vacuum on a regular basis, clean the walls, clean the floors, clean the ceilings, you know, clean your appliances, maintain things, do all of the seasonal stuff you need to do, and your house will repay you by not being a total bitch all the time and causing problems. Because there are plenty of houses that have issues. And ours, you know, it survived an earthquake and, you know, it got some damage from that, but not a lot. And I think that is partly because of the work I've done to our house. Not completely, because like obviously, looking at the horrors that happened in North Carolina, which I have been meaning to do, but also like, just as an FYI, try and find some way to support those people, because like, damn. I have been binge watching, not really the news, but like random people who live there showing their videos from there, and it's horrific to see. Like, I feel bad for the people in Florida and what's gonna happen probably to them. Because as of recording it, today is the 9th of October, so like, these hurricanes have like ripped people's homes, just gone down a river, and like watching some of these videos has been wild. Like there was like a freaking wall, like a full side of a house wall, and it just like got cut in half by a telephone pole or something, electrical pole, whatever, a giant pole sticking out of the ground with wires on top, and it just like split this house in half, this wall of a house. And like watching these videos where the houses just cave and are just literally floating down the river, like, be grateful for your home. And I don't know what's gonna happen with the one in Florida, but I'm sure it's not gonna be pretty. And so also, you know, just take this time when you see this to appreciate your house and to appreciate, you know, that, you know, our issue is not really obviously hurricanes and things, but you know, I've had to protect our house from fires plenty of times, especially my dad's and our first house. Those, you constantly had threat of fire, and I mean, it was real. You would get the reverse like 911, like, get out. You have like 15 minutes, you need to leave. Grab absolute essentials, Social Security, birth control, well that too, but birth certificate, your medications, your pets, and go. And so, you know, I've done many a protection spell, and those houses have been, they were fine up until the one that they bulldozed, but whatever. And, you know, so like, you know, do the magic that you can to your house, but also as a quick aside, find a local organization to support to help these people, and, you know, see if there's anything that you can do, check on family, stuff like that, because that was bad. I've watched so many vlogs of people just showing it, and it's like, I worry about the day that something like that happens here in Utah, because again, we are, you know, we're in the crossfires for when Yellowstone goes. We're gonna be one of the states that's affected substantially. And also we have a major mountain range that we are due for a bad earthquake at some point. And when that happens, I'm pretty sure most of our state's just gonna get leveled to the ground. Because the one was bad enough. And I don't know how people handle them all the time. Our buildings are not really well equipped for that. You know, our houses, all of them got cracks and things and they had to get repaired, but yeah. So just a good quick reminder of like, appreciate your home that you have, even if you're renting. Appreciate that you have a spot that you can live right now, because right now not everyone has that. So just as a more somber reminder, because it is the season of Samhain, it's time to reflect and remember and, you know, send what you can, even if you don't have money to send, you know, positive vibes and spread word and let people know for the people that are affected. Because, like, again, I have an aunt who was right by where it was hit. Thankfully, she just had she's like an hour and a half-ish, hour away from, like, Dollywood. So they just had a lot of rain and wicked winds, but not like substantial damage. Like, we were able to call and check on her every day, but you know, there are more places that didn't have that, and I have both sides of my family. I have roots that go to that area, so, you know, just, yeah, be grateful for what you have, spread knowledge and stuff and the word of, you know, Helene and all of the damage that it caused to, you know, eastern Tennessee and western North Carolina, because, like, those videos are bad. Like, damn, you couldn't even tell there was a road. Like, there was one that it literally just looked like this big wide river, and it's like, oh, half that used to be a road. Oh god. And like, I-40 is gonna take like till next year in September to get fixed. That's bad. And again, I'm sure Florida also has issues. So this, I feel like, was just a good one to remind y'all that, you know, appreciate your homes, send it a little extra love and care when you see this, and then also see how you can help and, you know, help protect, and, you know, also just do the mundane help of like donate to local causes and things that are able to help the people who actually need it right now. So anyways, until next time, I'd love to know how you work with your house spirits. And until next time, thank you to my patrons, and I will see you all tomorrow for another video in Witchtober.